You see that you and I are of a different stripe, don't you? We don't have to dream that we're important. We are.
Why? That's really the only question that I can ask about certain video games. Why are they made? Why are they here? Why do they still exist? Who? Who is the person that said, before the game is put into production, this is a good idea? Some things like that baffle me. And people like the angry video game nerd have been battling bad games for years. And today I tackle a bad game. And that game is Back to the Future 3 for Sega Genesis. Why such a random title also? Why did I just pick this game to review? Well, I recently got it. Just as a joke. My friends and I went to this video game store that the aforementioned angry video game nerd frequents, a place called Digital Press. An interesting store. Actually, it's a really nice store. Unfortunately, it suffers from Hollywood pricing. Aside from that, it's a pretty cool store. And for some random reason, my friend handed me this game, and I decided to buy it. $3.99 it cost me. I don't know why, in retrospect, I bought it, because ultimately it's just going to sit here with all the other Genesis games. But at least I'll play the other ones, like Sonic or Vector Man or anything like that. But I will probably, after this review, never really feel the need to play Back to the Future 3 ever again. And for good reason, and I think you'll see why. Now, the Back to the Future trilogy is, they're great. The first two movies are absolutely brilliant. The third, generally considered the weakest link of the trilogy. However, still a pretty good movie. So everyone loves the Back to the Future films. But the games have never really been good. And of course, it especially goes to Back to the Future 3. Now, this is different from like the NES games where on NES they had Back to the Future 2 and 3 on one cartridge. And here, it's just 3. But in any case, that doesn't matter. We're going to take a closer look at this Back to the Future 3. So in order to play Back to the Future 3, I think it's only appropriate to play it on the Genesis 3. Alright, so here we are, Back to the Future 3. I guess that's a decent rendition of the movie theme, but overall it just has like a weird like tinny sound to it. A lot of Genesis games suffered from that for some reason. I don't know why, but I mean, you know, like the Sonic games had great sound, but this one, I'm not a fan. Alright, let's get started. So it kind of just puts you right into the middle of the movie where Clara is heading for the ravine out of control, and it's your job to save her. So as you see, graphics not terrible. It just seems kind of like a low-end computer graphics. I'm actually doing a lot better than I did before. All of a sudden. Oh, died. And he gets right back on his horse. That's a good guy. Ugh. It's very frustrating to fall down because like you can't only see these obstacles coming. So far so good. Before I was really having trouble with those rocks. Right now I'm not, surprisingly. Ugh. Oh man. I didn't reach Clara. And there she goes tumbling over the mountain. That is really morbid. And they could just simply try again. And the music never stops. It just continues on the same loop over and over again. I've read that there's only 4 levels to this game, so this game must just be pretty darn challenging. I would say it's not really an easy game, probably because it's not really designed particularly well. I've never actually gotten past this level yet, even though I just got it a couple of days ago, but alright, it's not really worth it, I'm sorry. And you just keep trying. I've had enough. Alright, so there really isn't much more to say about Back to the Future 3. It's just not a good game. It doesn't sound good, it doesn't play well, the graphics really aren't that appealing, it's just really an uninspired design, and it's just bad. And that's really what it comes down to. It's a forgettable game that was made 20 years ago that we'll probably never hear about ever again. I mean, in essence, I really just wasted my $4 that I'll never get back. But in a way, you can't really cherish the good games without really experiencing the bad, right? So I've done that here. I have a prime example of an awful game that I got to play, and now when I play a good game, I only enjoy it even more because I know it's nothing like what I just played. With that being said, well, let's just forget about Back to the Future 3. It is a game that's just gonna get forgotten into the annals of time, and that'll be that. That's its fate. So, in terms of games that end in a 3, well, there's only one game that you should be playing that ends in a 3.